Hello everyone, my name's Cliff and welcome back to my channel. This is Cliff's Dark Gems. And if you're new here, welcome for the first time. And tonight we're going to talk some extreme horror. So I'm going to rank all the books that I've read since becoming a booktuber. So stay tuned. Okay everyone, I'm creating this video because our September subgenre for Fright Club is extreme horror, and our book of the month is Toxic Love by Christopher Triana, who's going to appear on this list a number of times because he's an awesome author. And yeah, just want to make clear, there's a difference apparently between extreme horror and splatterpunk. Yeah, I went online and I tried to find out what the differences, similarities, all that stuff was. I'm going to leave something in the description box. I don't want to go into it here. But let's just say that both of them, extreme horror is very graphic. Check your trigger warnings for all these books. And yeah, it's kind of enter at your own risk. There's one book here that maybe is more accessible for a horror reader, and we'll get to that, I'll let you know. And in fact, it might be an excellent Halloween read. It's very spooky and creepy, although it's a lot bloodier than usual. So let's get going. Okay, another thing to make clear is that there are some deeply disturbing books that I've read over the years since I've been a booktuber that are not on this list. For example, 10 Days of Flesh. Some might consider that extreme horror, perhaps it is, but that's not on this list. Good, yeah, this is mostly over the top kind of horror. So yeah. Okay, the first two entries I was seriously not impressed with at all. And number 10 we've got Connie by Eric Moore. Now yeah, this is about a bunch of very stupid teenagers, idiotic teenagers, and they go to this carnival. It's got this like horror attraction at the carnival, and there's these psychotic clowns, stabby clowns, and yeah, they witness this woman, or they witness something, I think it's this woman getting stabbed, and it all goes downhill from there for them, and for the reader as far as I'm concerned. That was the best part of the book, and yeah, they get transported off, and yeah, it gets very violent, very gory, but kind of dull and repetitive. And the problem with this book is that there's just no story to it. And it ends very abruptly. I think it's the first part of a series. But I'm not interested in picking up the rest of the series at all, on any level. The characters, like I say, they're idiotic, no story, no interest. And another book that did not interest me is No One Rides for Free by Judith Sonnet. Although it set out to be incredibly graphic, it had warnings all over the place. If you're going to read, halfway through the book it says, if you're going to carry on reading, be warned, don't carry on reading if you're the faint of heart, all that stuff. It's all the trigger warnings, people. And yeah, it's about this guy called the Man, and he's got this family. I'm not going to tell you how they get into this car. It's his mother and his two kids, or two students from college, and they end up in this car with this man with a gun and a bag full of toys, and yeah, they drive out into the desert, and just things get very, very, very nasty, and there's nothing else that really happens except for just, I'm not going to go into it, you can imagine, and it's just disgusting. And for me it was sort of just super gross for no other reason. What happens, and yeah, once again, I think the author wrote it in about 10 days, and it kind of shows. I know that I want to try her again. I think that there's other books by the author that I might enjoy more. But yeah, as far as extreme horror goes, this is sort of the bottom of the scale for me. Characters are one-dimensional, and it didn't seem to have any purpose but there to be badly hurt, really messed up. So yeah, I think I gave it 3 stars because it set out to be what it wanted to be. But it's more like 2.5 stars, and I'm being generous. So yeah. that is no one rides for free. Okay, the rest of the books are all 3.5 star plus to 5 stars. And the next one is Return to the Black Farm by Elias Witherow. This is a sequel to The Black Farm, which I loved. It's coming later on in the list. And yeah, this is still an impressive book. I think 3.5 rounded up to 4. And yeah, still impressive world building. I'm not going to go into the plot because I'm going to talk about the first book. But yeah, great story, impressive world building. I just found that in this story, it was almost like a little bit of a quest thing. A little bit of travelling. And I found it a bit stretched out and dull at places. So yeah, didn't really compare to the first book for me. But still, not a bad book. That is Return to the Black Farm. In 7th position we got The Prettiest Girl in the Grave by Christopher Triana. Now yeah, three of these books are going to be on this list. And this is probably the most accessible for a normal horror lover that hasn't tried extreme fictions. It's probably a good kind of a bridge between the two. It's creepy and nasty, you know, kind of set in a graveyard. And yeah, there are some very, very graphic bits, but it's still accessible. And it's about these 4 girls. No, it's 6 girls. And they're going to this graveyard and they kind of dare each other to play this game. They kind of enter this crypt. And this game is all about that only one girl is left standing. The prettiest girl in the grave. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. As I say, it's very creepy, very dark in places, but just, yeah, a lot of fun and perhaps a good read for the fall season. Prettiest Girl in the Grave, check it out. Okay, the next one could have been a lot higher. It's Exquisite Corpse by Poppy Z. Bright, but I'm going by what I enjoyed. And although this is a very, very good book, spectacular in a way, it's not a kind of book that you can enjoy in the traditional sense of the word. It is extremely graphic. It's disgusting. It's sickening. But it's so beautifully well written that you can't look away. The prose is gorgeous. And yeah, it's about these 2 serial killers. They're based on real life serial killers. And yeah, they kind of fall in love. And they push their art to the highest level. And it's sickening and graphic, and yeah, and it's set in the backdrop of AIDS pandemic. And yeah, they're both gay. And yeah, it's kind of a lot of social commentary on homophobia as well, which is very good. There's all this background stuff going on as well. And Poppy Z. Bright is brilliant at painting this setting of New Orleans, brings it to life. That's a brilliant novel, only if you can handle it. I had to read it and put it down, and read it and put it down, and at times I really felt like I was going to throw up. It's just be warned. It's not for a normal person. It says something about me, but yeah, it's still a very good novel if you can handle it. So yeah, that's Exquisite Corpse. Book number 5 is Crazy, and that is Full Brutal by Christopher Triana. And yeah, this book is insane. And it's about this kind of beautiful, pretty beautiful 16-year-old girl. And yeah, she's got it all. She's got money, comes from a rich family, she's popular, I think she's a cheerleader. But she's bored, people. She wants to kind of do something different. And nothing better than to right? Everyone else is doing it, have some sex. And she chooses to by a teacher and ruin his life. That excites her. And then she discovers that, yeah, she gets excitement and satisfaction from causing people misery. And it's like a downward spiral, people. And yeah, she just goes off the rails. I'm not going to go into it. But it's bloody, and it's graphic, and it's crazy. And the ending is absolutely freaking insane. And you don't see it coming. Well, you kind of do. But yeah, I enjoyed this book. If you can handle it, it's kind of fast paced, it's fun. So yeah, Full Brutal. Okay, next up we got Psychic Teenage Bloodbath by Carl John Lee. This book is completely unhinged. It's psycho, really crazy, and yeah, it's bloodbath. It leads up to its name, and it's about these school bullies, these homophobic school bullies, and it's about a girl and her girlfriend Charlie, and they go to the prom. And they want to get some alone time up at top of the prom. And there's this kind of skylight. And these bullies cause an accident. And Charlie falls and ends up in a coma. And yeah, you know, it's a tale of revenge. A year later, Charlie's still in a coma. But her mind is working overtime. Her mind is super powerful. Because she's become psychic. Very psychic and powerful. And she's out for revenge, and yeah, it's if anything, this book is the most batshit crazy book I've ever read. And someone mentioned on Goodreads it could make actually a good movie, an excellent horror movie, but it will have to be toned down, people, because there are some graphic, disturbing scenes in this book that I still think about. One involving I think it was an infant or baby or something. That's just messed up. But it's fast paced and it's crazy and it's relentless. And yeah, just check your trigger warnings. But I had a blast. So that's Psychic Teenage Bloodbath. Okay, now we're getting serious into my top 3. And in third position we got The Black Farm by Elias Witherow. Now people, yeah, the more I think about it, I should have given it maybe 4.5, 5 stars. It's super disturbing. And it's about this couple, and yeah, they've lost a child, and they're going through a whole lot of really bad luck, and they just can't cope anymore. So they decide to end it. They're going to kill themselves, and they're looking for peace. They want to wake up and be at peace. But no, they wake up in this place, like it's almost a purgatory, called the Black Farm. This place between heaven and hell. It's set aside for suicides. And this is not a place you want to be, people. This book is dark, it's demented, it's horrifying. Very brutal scenes of torture. And yeah, I'm going to say again, trigger warning to people. This book is messed up. But I really enjoyed the building, the world building. It's so imaginative. This place, the way it comes to life, is just wow. Some of the stuff you see, some of the imagery, the horror imagery, will haunt you. And it's a great story. And the characters are great when they're not being destroyed. And the thing about this place is that you can't escape. So even death, you're not going to escape. You're just going to come. These clouds don't look like very pretty clouds around this island. It's an island. And yeah, it'll just shut you right back onto the island. So, yeah, it's an amazing book if you got the guts and if you got the stomach for it. But yeah, this is not the kind of book, if you have not read extreme horror, don't read this book. You know, find some easier ways to get into it. That's a Black Farm. Yeah. In second position is a 5-star favourite for me, Christopher Triana, once again, Gone to See the Riverman. Now I read this in 2023. And I've got the sequel, and I actually think I might read it again just to get a feel, you know, for the sequel. But yeah, it's about Laurie, who is desperately in love, or rather she's just completely obsessed over a serial killer. And she's been writing to him in prison. As serial killer is particularly vicious, murders women, really vicious. And she meets him in prison, and like kind of they talk, and he offers her quest, and she accepts. And so she takes her disabled sister. This happened when she was a kid. We're going to go into that just now. And they've got to go and retrieve this key from a chest in this killer's cabin in the woods, and then go down this river to find this riverman and deliver the key. And it's very messed up, people, but it's a different kind of extreme horror. It'll make you feel uncomfortable throughout, but it's beautifully written. and it's an imagery. It's kind of magical, but it's uncomfortable at the same time. And Laurie, this main character, is despicable. And you see in this novel, a novella, I think it's a novella, you see back flashes, flashbacks into her life, into their life, into childhood and stuff. And it's super messed up, people. So yeah, just check trigger warnings for that. This book's not overly graphic as some of the other ones I've spoken about, but it is super disturbing and uncomfortable in other ways. So just check your warnings for this one. But it's still incredible character development, an amazing story, beautifully written, and just, yeah, kind of hypnotic. They travel down this river of flesh. It's kind of almost like a fever dream. Not going to go into any more, don't want to give spoilers away, but yeah, this was a magic book. That's Gone to See the River Man. Okay, and in first position we got Off Season by Jack Ketchum. That's a book I've spoken about a number of times, and it's one of my favorite horror books. It's right up there. Well, yeah, but yeah, it's about these out-of-towners, these New Yorkers, and they're vacationing in this little fishing town, beach town in Maine, and they're in this like cabin in the woods. And yeah, the first 100 pages not much happens. It's this character development. You see, unfortunately for these out-of-towners, quite close by is an inbred family of cannibals, and they're hungry. Yeah. And what sets this book apart, I mean, it just sounds like, yeah, it sounds like just cannibal action, but what sets it apart is the writing. It's just amazingly well written, unflinching, brutal, and you get to feel everything from these characters. They fight for survival, and yeah, it kept me up the whole night. Half the night reading, I couldn't put it down, and then yeah, I had to think about it afterwards. And I've got another book by Jack Ketchum, The Girl Next Door, which I might be budding reading next month. I'm going to see how we feel this time for October. But it's an awesome writer, and this is a great book if you can handle it. But I want to read something to you, because on Goodreads there is the best review I've ever seen in my entire life. It's a 4-star review, not a 1-star review, and it's long. So I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to read the first paragraph or so to give you an idea what it's about. And you can go to Goodreads and you can go to the 4-star reviews for off-season. It'll be the first one. Cannibalism, a more balanced perspective. While I really like this book, I feel compelled to make a few introductory remarks before I discuss the specific merits of the story. I will give Mr. Ketchum the benefit of the doubt and say that I do not believe it was his intention in writing this book to come across as a snobby, elitist, anti-cannibal bigot. However, the fact remains that this novel is yet another example of popular media perpetrating the negative stereotype of cannibalism. I feel it's long past time to give a more balanced view of the subject in the hopes of fostering greater understanding of this alternative lifestyle. As far as the specific plot elements in Ketchum's story, I thought they were fine. I find cannibalism, graphic torture, and human dismemberment just as funny and amusing as the next guy, and thought the author did a nice job of providing an authentic and detailed representation of the practices discussed. While I do not currently practice cannibalism, I did experiment with the lifestyle for a time in college. During this time, I learned a lot about the same species sustenance community, and I met a lot of wonderful people, several of whom I still count among my friends, as long as I'm armed. Okay, I'm going to stop there. It's absolutely brilliant, and you should go check it out. It's a lot of fun. Okay everyone, so that's my extreme horror list for tonight. Let me know if you've read any of those, if you want to read them, if you've got any further questions you need to ask me. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Love to hear from you in the comments down below. And yeah, take care of yourselves, people. Until next time, keep those pages turning, and cheers.